Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Rebecca and this is Reselling Rebecca, where I basically go to charity shops and car boot sales. I try and find items that I think are underpriced and then I sell them online for a profit. Now I am actually very new to this reselling journey. I am just getting started with it. I've never done a full sourcing trip before. I have a couple of items at home that I've found from popping into random little charity shops, but I haven't listed anything at all yet. So what I thought I would do is start this channel and share the entire journey with you guys. I figured this way we can learn about reselling together. You can tell me anytime I'm going wrong. We can learn tips and tricks as we go along. And yeah, I'm just going to share the full reselling journey with you. So everything from sourcing the items in charity shops and at car boot sales and a little bit on Vinted, to listing the items on eBay and then hopefully selling them for a profit. So I'm doing my very first big sourcing trip today. I'm going to be heading to South Oxford and just shopping in a little area around there because I know that there's quite a few charity shops there. But before that, I'm going to pop into my very local charity shop because I once found a gem here and I want to see if I can do it again. So my local charity shop is a Bernardo's. I actually really like this charity shop, and when I walk in it looks like it's very quiet, but after a couple of minutes of me looking it got really busy and people kept wanting to shop exactly where I was shopping, but I persevered anyway. Started off by looking at the women's tops, but I found absolutely nothing on this rail. It was really hard to film, but I got the GoPro back out for this bit. I was looking in men's jackets and I came across this jacket. This is a Barney's. It is a leather jacket with like a suede look to it. I was just checking out the labels, checking out the condition at this point. I know as a general rule that anything leather might be a safe bet. This jacket was £7. That's quite a lot for me to put down as a newbie considering I know absolutely nothing. So I was inspecting every little detail of it, making sure that it was in very good condition. And as you can see, I have been looking up Barney's jackets, seeing what information I could find, seeing what comps I could find, and trying to work out if it was worth picking up. Okay, I found it really hard to film in there because personal space was just not a thing and people kept wanting to shop exactly where I was shopping. But I did pick up that brown leather jacket. It looked like it had some pretty good comps, so sold listings on eBay. And I also found this vintage faux fur St. Michael's, size 16. It was only £5, so I thought, let's give it a try. And now we're going to head to the rest of the charity shops in South Oxfordshire. Okay, shop one in South Oxford. I think this is a cancer research, and the first thing I found were these vintage He-Man books. They were labelled as 50p each, but they were actually 3 for £1. I picked all 4 of them up for £1.50. I don't know, I just had a feeling about them. I thought that they were interesting, I thought they were kind of cool, and I figured why not give it a try. And then I just start exploring and having a little bit of a look at everything, because at this point I am still just trying to learn and scope out what sort of items sell well. You will have to excuse any bad filming. This was my first ever time going out in public with a GoPro on a chest mount. It took some bravery, let me tell you that. So yeah, some of my shots are better than others. But here I am, trying to find some top trumps. I don't even know why I looked at this because I can't even remember which top trumps are meant to be valuable. But I was basically just having a nosy, seeing what was interesting and seeing if anything caught my eye. Having a look at menswear now. I like this store because it has some really reasonable prices. And basically at this point all I'm doing is just trying to filter out any of the high street stores and see if there's anything that I recognise or that catches my eye. This shirt looked really fancy, so I thought it was worth having a look at, but it didn't have any labels, so I just left it because that's the kind of risk I am not willing to take as a newbie. And yeah, shirts, they're not my area of expertise, not that anywhere really is, but shirts I definitely know very little about. So I'm just kind of blindly going through, hoping that something might jump out and catch my eye, but nothing really does. Ties.
I watched a video and they said, hey guys, don't sleep on the tie section. So now this is a section that I check in every single charity shop. And again, all I'm really doing is going through, looking for labels that I recognise, or just trying to find something interesting. This pig print tie, I just loved it. I absolutely loved it from the second that I picked it up. So I thought it was worth checking out. So here I am, trying to find some comps of at least the brand and trying to decide if it was worth picking up. I did actually decide to pick this one up. I think I was a bit concerned about how many results there were, but after having a look at the comps, I decided for £1 it might be worth the risk. I'm sure I can make a few pound back, so this one went in the basket. I've also spotted like a vintage Mickey Mouse tie. So here again, I'm just checking out the brand, checking out the information. I'm pretty certain this is a silk vintage Mickey Mouse tie. So again, out comes the phone, in goes the information into eBay. And again, I'm just checking out what comps there are. And there are a lot of vintage Disney ties, let me tell you that now. I'm sort of trying to point out some similar ones and the prices that they are. And then of course, I go into my sold listings, see how many of them are actually sold. Not too confident about it, but in the end, I do pick up this tie as well. So that's 2 ties in my basket and they are £1 each. So that's a win for me. Had a little bit of a browse at the women's wear. I did think this could be something, and then I saw the mark on the front, so that was a big no. I don't think it was anything anyway, to be honest. Most of this was Primark, New Look, H&M, Zara, Next, M&S, Boohoo, Shein, all those high street brands, all those fast fashion brands. So no hidden gems in this one, unfortunately. I spotted this, I don't know if it's actually vintage or not, it's a Bath Rugby Club polo top. I don't know, I just kind of thought that a rugby polo top might be a good pickup. It was a good size, nice and big. I thought it looked lovely. I thought this would be good going into summer months. And I'm sure that there's a Bath rugby fan out there somewhere who's in need of a polo top. So at £3, I decided it was worth the risk. Shop number 2, and this is British Heart Foundation, which must be everyone's least favourite charity shop by now, I'm sure. The prices are usually insane, but I figured I'd have a little browse anyway, seeing as I was trying to do a big sourcing day. Having a look at the women's section, nothing really catching my eye, a couple of labels that I'm checking out, trying to learn about. Then I do come across this one t-shirt. It is a Disney t-shirt. I think it was a Disneyland Paris top. I think it actually did come from the parks. I do spend a long time having a look at this because I know Disney can be a big earner. I know that there is a big following for certain Disney items. So at this point, I'm really just checking it out to see if it is worth anything. I don't really like the design, so I feel like I'm needing something to really sway my opinion on this. I just don't find anything that tells me this is worth picking up. So back on the rail it goes, and the hunt continued. Looking at the trousers, the jeans and the shorts here, and this is something I might regret leaving, but what can you do? Came across this pair of vintage Laura Ashley shorts, that lovely vintage Laura Ashley label, but when I actually started looking it up on eBay, I saw that a lot of dresses for vintage Laura Ashley were going really well, but I just wasn't really seeing any vintage Laura Ashley shorts going for good prices, so I ummed and ahed for a moment and I left them behind. I can't remember how much they were, but they were not on the cheap side. They were definitely on the more expensive side, and it just felt like a risk that wasn't going to be worth it for me. It just felt like I was going to struggle to sell the item and that it just wasn't going to make me very much profit at all. on to a lady's tops now, and this little monochrome number at the front, this piqued my interest. This is a H&M collaboration actually. It is a GP&J Baker with H&M collab. Never heard of that brand before, and this was quite a small size, slightly smaller size, a size 10 I believe. I really ummed and ahed over this. I've heard that collabs are meant to be really good. H&M collabs, Uniqlo collabs, Adidas collabs. Having not heard of this brand, it sort of made me hesitate, so I looked it up. It looked quite promising on eBay, not so much for tops, more for dresses, but at some point in all of this scrolling, I do see a dress that's like a similar print to this, and I figure, maybe we can get some profit out of this. It's worth the risk. So now I'm just inspecting the condition. I wasn't sure if the white was really white enough, and I wanted to make sure that there were no loose threads. I'm second guessing myself again now, checking to see if there are any more listings to sway me towards buying it. And all in all, I decide it's worth the risk, so this top comes home with me. On to the next store, and this is another Bernardo's. I have to start rushing at this point because the stores are getting pretty close to closing. I had no idea how quickly time could fly by sourcing in these charity shops, so I definitely did not leave myself enough time on this day to thoroughly check out every shop. I was browsing the dress section and I came across these. I can't remember exactly what they're called. Are they waders? They're these sort of waterproof trousers that go up really high and have that little dungaree top, and I think you wear them when you're doing things like fishing. They really piqued my interest, but the condition and the quality of them, it just wasn't that great. They were quite dirty, they were quite worn, lots of little scuffy bits, you know, and yeah, I just wasn't sure at all, but I definitely wanted to do some more research into it and just learn a little bit more about this, see if it had any potential. It was priced at just £3, so if they were worth something, which I know sometimes they can be, that would have been great. But having a little look, as far as I recall, these weren't any particular big brand. And when it came down to it, the comps just didn't support me buying it, especially in the condition that they were in, so these were a bit of a fail. I found another tie section. These are slowly becoming an addiction for me, and I found this tie in there, and I don't think the brand was anything special really, but the fact that it was silk, the fact that it said Mercedes piqued my interest. I did wonder if it was actually linked to the car brand because of the print, and I just really loved the pattern, to be honest. I'm enjoying finding things that are going to be interesting to buy, interesting to learn about, fun to sell, so that's what made me want to pick this item up. Originally I put it back, but now I'm looking at the comps to see if it is worth picking up, and I do decide it is worth a pickup. Pretty much out on the floor now, looking at the men's trousers, and I come across something a little bit interesting which I have not captured very well. It is these Adidas Goalkeeper trousers. I genuinely didn't know that Goalkeeper trousers were a thing. I noticed the padding, I could feel the padding when I was looking at them. They piqued my curiosity once again, so I checked them out. Saw a couple of pairs in slightly more worn condition and thought these would be another interesting pickup. Oh, and we have jumped very quickly to the last charity shop where I found this Versus Versace green blouse. I look at that little button with the serpent head. No, what's it called? The Medusa head. Absolutely loved it. £2. The label did allow me to authenticate it, which I did, so I hope it's legit, and I picked that up. Okay, I think that was a pretty successful first sourcing trip.
We are back now. I've spent the last couple of hours just tidying all the items up, getting them all photographed, ready to be listed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly show you everything that I got both on this trip and the things that I already had. Some of them are good items and I'm expecting a good resale. Some of them I'm expecting just a small profit back and I'm going to use them as sort of feedback fodder. So there are a couple of random things that I picked up hoping that they would sell for a very small profit. I'm going to show you everything, tell you how much I purchased it for, and then I'll put on screen a picture of the comps and what I'm planning on listing the item for. So item number one, we have this Bath Rugby polo shirt. This I paid £3 for. It's a size large, so I'm hoping that it'll sell quite well, being a larger size, and it's in a really nice condition, really nice colours. So yeah, I'm hoping that that's going to sell pretty well. Then I have got some Adidas Goalkeeper tracksuit bottoms. I did not know that this was a thing, but they are padded on the knees, they are padded at the hips. I actually picked these up in the very last shop that I ran to. I only had a couple of moments when I was in there, and I paid £3 for these, and these are also a large. I picked this up in the first shop. It is a vintage St. Michael faux fur coat. It's in a ladies size 16. It is absolutely lovely. I paid £5 for it. There are a couple of tiny little flaws, things like the thread wearing off here and a little bit of stitching coming undone, but other than that, it is stunning. Also from the same shop, I think this might be vintage, I can't be sure, I need to do more research. This is a Barney's leather jacket. It's one of those really lovely ones that has that nice suede feel to it. This is in a size medium and I paid £7 for this one. This Nike Tech hoodie, this is actually the first thing that I purchased. I got this off of Vinted. The item was £10 with postage and fees. I think it came to about £14, and the reason I picked it up is because it's Nike Tech, and Chaddy Pete said anything with this label and you can buy it under £15, buy it and resell it for a profit. So that's what I'm trying to do. Size XXL, so an absolutely brilliant size, really nice colour. I think the only flaw is there is a tiny bit of sort of wear and colour fading here at the cuff, but other than that, lovely. This is another item I've picked up thanks to Chaddy Pete. It's just a very simple flowy chiffon-y top, but it is actually a H&M collaboration with J.P.&J. Baker. I don't know much about it. I had a very quick look at comps when I was in the store and I saw that there were some things going. A lot of them had these funky sort of prints, so I figured it would be quite a good pickup, worth the risk, and this one cost me £3.99. These trousers are from a previous charity shop visit. These are Isabelle Marant trousers. I believe these are the Jessie trousers. They're in this really nice khaki colour with this detailing here on the hem. These cost me £5. Also from a previous charity shop visit, I've got these Frame La High Straight black jeans, just straight legged, really nice, in excellent condition. I really love this detailing here. These cost me £5 as well, and I'd actually never heard of this brand at all. I just noticed that they looked higher quality, had a look when I was in the store, decided they might be worth something, and decided to pick them up. Versace. So I picked this up today. This was also in the last shop. This is a Versus Versace, kind of like khaki blouse. It has these lovely detailed buttons, and there is a label on the inside where you can authenticate it through the Versace website. So that's what I've done. I picked this up for £2. I think that's a bargain, and I'm hoping I can get a bit more than that in return. Just a few random bits now. I've got this Boston State Property is the company that made it. Snapback, blue and white. I don't know if it's affiliated to any particular team. I tried to do some research, couldn't find much on it, but it's in a really nice condition. I figured someone's probably going to want it. It cost me £2 and I thought it would be a really good bit of feedback fodder basically. Got some ties here, £1, £1 and 50p. These two are 100% silk. This one I just fell in love with. This is just so fun. This one has some vintage motor cars on them. I think that one's definitely vintage. I think this one could possibly be. And then this one isn't silk, but it's definitely vintage. And look at how amazing this is. So £2.50 for the 3 ties. Again, I can use these as feedback fodder if I don't think that they're going to sell for very much, but I thought that they were good, easy pickups, really easy to ship out, and should hopefully sell quite well, because I mean, come on, some vintage funky Mickey there, the pigs, and everyone loves a car. And last but not least, but probably the most random, I picked up these 4 Masters of the Universe Ladybird books. They were £1.50 to get all 4. They are slightly dinked on the outside, some of them, but the pages are in really good condition. I did have a quick look on eBay. I did see a set of 3 sell for, well, more than £1.50. And again, I thought these could be a good bit of feedback fodder, just something to build up my store with, basically. Okay, and that's the lot. That is everything that I have picked up, photographed, and I'm going to list to basically launch my store with. I just need to work out my listing prices and then actually sit there and do all the listings, which takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to end this video here, and if you guys want to find out if any of this sells and what it sells for, in my next video, I will definitely open the video by giving you that information. So if you are interested in seeing more, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully I will see you in the next video, and goodbye for now.
So today we picked up a total of 14 items, totaling £54.28, with a very optimistic potential listing value of £264.96.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?